Well, firstly, I want to say my deepest apologies. I wasn't aware that the show did not connect when it was released at 7:30 this morning. And today's hot topic was reconnecting with your spouse. A really, really good run this morning. A natural run. As I said before, we don't edit or write scripts. We just go straight from either the word or the knowledge we have in our heart and mind. We share it abroad. And I wasn't aware until I got notification that all you heard was music. So my apologies. Please believe I was obedient this morning, although I wasn't feeling well. I'm feeling a little bit better. So thank you for the prayers of those that have been praying for me, for healing in my body. Not sure what happened last night, but I ate dinner and I just became very ill. So I'm not sure what is going on. But I said, hey, I have to get up, even though I didn't want to, and get into the swing of things, despite how I was feeling personally. So, again, I do apologize. I do want to share a few things. As I said, these are ways to reconnect with your spouse. And some people have no problem in this area. But then there are people that have problems in this area. And I said, why not? I talked with my husband. We're getting ready to do a segment on wives, pray for your husbands. And we're going to do husbands, pray for your wives. The importance of prayer in our marriages, in our unions. So I'm not going to hold you long. I'm going to jot this down as I'm taking this few-minute break to add this this morning as I wait for my ink to arrive. I had to order some ink. I'm working from home this morning. So first thing you can do to reconnect with your spouse is ask questions. We grow every single day. We're always constantly growing. And if you're not growing, there's a problem. You should be constantly growing. And it doesn't have to be huge growth spurts. It can be something simple, but you need to be growing every single day. Because we go about our routines every single day, assuming that we know our spouses. You won't believe how many times I've encountered people, friends, associates, other married couples, and when you have light discussion to heavy discussion, you see that there is a growth spurt that it appears that someone's spouse wasn't aware that happened. And it happens. That doesn't mean that he doesn't love her or she doesn't love him. It just means that we're growing. Okay? And according to Nicholas Hardy, which is a Texas-based psychotherapist who specializes in couples, individual couple counseling, he said that this is a very normal thing. Okay, we assume that we know our spouses well enough, we know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and that simply isn't true. We could have known a season when we knew them, but as we grow from day to day, then we tend to change. One thing that might have made me smile and excited might not make me smile and excited, or maybe not to the magnitude that it once did, and vice versa to my husband. And that's no disrespect saying, oh, you don't know your wife, or oh, you don't know your husband. No, it just means we're growing. And because we live very busy lives, individually and collectively, we tend to might miss out on some things. But what's important is that when you notice some things, like if somebody say, oh yeah, Titi's favorite food is pizza. That used to be. Pizza used to be my favorite food when I was younger. But it's not now. It's not now. So if my husband was to, oh yeah, she loves pizza. I did used to love pizza. I like pizza. But it's not my favorite thing now. If you say, hey, where you want to go? It's not going to be like, or what would you like as a carry out? It's not going to be pizza anymore. It's just changed. Over the years, the body changes. Your taste buds change. As you incorporate new things into your lives, you grow. So you have to ask questions, okay? Number 2, learning something new together. We do so many things as a couple or individually and collectively with other married couples. But to explore things you've never done, like I would love to go on a nature walk with my husband. I've never told him that, but he'll hear this show and he'll know. Like, what? You never told me that. I would love to go on a nature trail walk with my husband. I think on a nice, beautiful day, not cold, not too hot, but just right, and just enjoy that. Now, we went on a horseback ride through a nature trail, and that was beautiful. I wouldn't mind doing that again, too, but that was something we did together. My very first time horseback riding was with my husband. My very first time horseback riding on a nature trail, of course, was with my husband. And we've been trying to get other couples, so let's go on horseback rides. And some folks, you might have the husband like, yeah, and the wife might be like, You might have the wife say, yeah, and the husband like, So we don't let that stop us. We're like, well, we're going to go. And then people say, well, it looked like it was fun. Well, it was, but you have to try new things. When you start something new together, it takes a lot of pressure off, right? Especially when we're going through high stress times. And in the last couple of years, not just because of the pandemic, but a lot of things have changed. So a lot of stress levels have heightened. I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. And that has nothing to do with being a gender person, being like, oh, that's from a wife's perspective. That's a woman's perspective. I think men can agree. There's a lot that has been growing and brewing over the last couple of years where stress levels have increased, right? And there's no problem with finding something new to do. If you are not one of those creative people that seek things out, then I would implore you to ask some of your friends or other couples that you know that do things that you admire. That you say, you know what, that looked like that was fun. Ask them. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing to be able to ask another couple or another wife or another husband and say, hey man, hey homegirl, when y'all did the so-and-so, where'd y'all go? That looked fun. I do it all the time. I have friends that ask me all the time certain places we've gone, my ideas, different things like that, because I love creating those moments. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a different way to reconnect with your spouse, okay? Number 3, write weekly thank you notes. Leave a little sticky note. Thank you for making dinner. Thank you for making breakfast. Thank you for putting the clothes away that I started. Thank you for having my house shoes ready, or thank you for drawing a bath for me. Thank you for lighting the candles because I came in and I said, oh, I just need this ambiance. Thank you for whatever it is. Thank you for lunch. Thank you for that morning prayer. Whatever that looks like, it's nothing wrong with making sure that your significant other knows that you appreciate them. And it's cute. It's an act of service. It's one of the love languages. I love words of affirmation. So that's one that's great for me, is those little notes, that random I love yous, or I hope you have a great day. I tend to try to do that for not only my spouse, but my children. Like for those of you that might follow me on social media, on Facebook, I leave daily white boards with messages to start Cody's morning off, Monday through Friday, as he goes to school, to encourage him. Just little notes. It don't have to be nothing drawn out or whatever, but he looks forward to it every day. And so that's an act of gratitude, right? Because I'm thankful to be his mom. He's thankful to get the messages from his mom. So you can implement that in your marriages. You know, don't just say, well, she knows I appreciate her. He know I appreciate him. Yeah, they might know that, but it's nothing wrong with reminding them and letting them know, I just want to let you know I appreciate you. Okay? Number 4, synchronize work breaks. So if you guys work on different schedules, you know, like I'm working from home today because I'm not feeling well, but my husband is doing his own work upstairs. I'm working down in the office downstairs, and I made me some tea, and he brought me my canister of water, and this is how the day is going to go, unless I decide to go into the office this afternoon as I start to feel better. But in the midst of it right now, as I'm taking this moment to take a break, waiting on this ink to arrive, I'm like, okay, let me get this out of the way. And my husband is the one that actually went to go and purchase this ink. We were running low on ink, and I need to be able to print. That's one of those, wow, thank you. Like, I appreciate him stopping what he's doing and getting out there in the street and getting what I need so I can work effectively from home. But when we have a moment, I can say, hey, I'm going to take a break. You want to, take a break for a minute? Let's sit down. He'll probably drink him a cup of coffee, and I'll drink me another cup of tea. But that would be synchronizing, just hypothetically synchronizing a work break, okay? because we're in work mode. And I know sometimes we can get frustrated, and sometimes you might come to a point where you're like, I'm feeling burnt out at this moment, I need a break. Even if you're not in the same space, you could call or text and say, hey, can you talk for a minute? And it don't got to be like no decompressing, but it's just like, hey, let's talk for a minute. How's your day going? How's your afternoon going? How's your evening going? Whatever that time frame is for you. And just catch up on what's going on. What you want to have for dinner? A lot of times we talk with our spouses when we take a little break and hey, what we want to do for dinner, where we're going for dinner, things of that nature. It's a beautiful thing, okay? Number 5, keep a daily journal together. I'm not hip to this. Now, I got this from Dr. Hardy, okay? But he says that writing is one of the best ways to confront your emotions, figure out what exactly you're feeling, what you're thinking, reflecting on good and bad of the day, simply exercising what you can do together, whether you each have your own or you write in the same journal at different times. Now, for me, I think I do something different. We do something different. We have ducks. I referred to that a couple days ago where we have ducks. And we turn the ducks, right? The ducks are always kind of back to back because it's like you got this way, I got this way, and we got each other's back. But if the duck is turned a certain way, then you feel like, oh, okay, I need to have a conversation. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's something that's, oh, we got to talk. No, it's kind of like, oh, we're talking. Okay, we have a conversation we need to have, or I would like to have with you. And it doesn't have to necessarily always be, I want to talk to you about us. It could be like, oh, I forgot to talk to you about this or talk to you about that. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay. Well, when we get a minute, then we're going to go ahead and tap into that. If we both may have our ducks face to face, that means we both need to talk. Kind of like, listen, not that I want to talk to you about something, we need to talk. It could be one of those, we had a good conversation, a deep conversation, a serious conversation. We didn't finish it because maybe we ended that conversation on, we're going to touch and agree that we don't agree, but we agree that we disagree. And let's revisit this conversation. Things could be getting heated, right? Because every conversation ain't going to be rosy. Some conversations get real heated, but not disrespectfully heated. But on the like, listen, I'm really emotional about this. You're really emotional about this, or vice versa. Let's revisit that. Okay, so if you had a journal, I'm assuming if you had a journal and you guys wrote, then you would be like, oh, I didn't know you felt this way. So there's different levels of communication. I think I would say to keep a journal together, to journal daily, is cool. If it's something that you can do. Some people are not into that. If you can do it, if you're not, don't do it. You can implement something else in there that can allow you guys to keep up with making sure you are in tune with one another. Number 6, set aside time for silliness. We don't have to set aside. Andre and I, Swifty and I, we are like just naturally silly. We are funny, witty people. And we laugh like all the time. It just be like crazy. And it's not even intended. Like, it's not planned, you know. We just silly people, right? We love life and we laugh at a lot of things, right? And it helps you to stay connected. It releases a chemical bond, right, between the two of you. But even in your own, you know, I think that when you have moments to be silly, whether that means you playing a board game and it's like, oh, you know, air bands, or that's just one game to, you know, when you playing even dominoes. We like to play dominoes. You know, I'm a junk talker, right? And so my husband is too, not like me, but I'm a junk talker, right? And we both competitive. Might slap them double downs like, oh, pay me, you know, whatever, and you being silly and just creating a moment. It's actually a healthy moment and habit to create. It allows you to blow off steam, frustration, stress, right? Sometimes you might even say, hey, let's build a puzzle. Let's color. I remember one time before we colored. We haven't done it in a long time, but Cody was in stages when he was really young where he loved to color. So we're all sitting down at the table. We're coloring. I mean, intense, right? You know, tracing the line. Don't go outside the line and all those things. Just an amazing way to reconnect. But it also allowed us to be able to be in a silly moment. And there's nothing wrong with it. It could be in public, private, whatever you're comfortable with. Create those moments for yourself. Number 7, get away together. Oh, so important. So important. I don't care if it's a daycation, a staycation, weekend getaway. If you can do longer, hey. But you got to make sure you take time to get away. Okay? When I say a staycation, get a room or cottage or something overnight somewhere locally. You can't leave the state. It might not be conducive for you to do that. You might have to be to work the next day, but you can say, you know what, this evening we're checking into the so-and-so, and just go do that. If you could do an overnight stay, great. Find somewhere you've never stayed. I prefer that. If you stay in your favorite places, that's great, but that means you've done this already. You know the restaurants, you know the scenery. Go somewhere else. Find a little community that you like and say, you know what, we're going to go there for the night. We're going to drive to, I don't know. Like, let's just say this. We did this, and this is real. This is a real story. We went to the Funny Bone to check out a friend of ours. Our friend Face invited us to go with him, and we went and we saw a comic, one of his good friends. And we had the best time ever. We drove there. It's 45 minutes to an hour drive. We drove back. We loved the food. It was great. Nice little area, nice little hotels and stuff. Little. It was like a little community. And we're like, dang, we should come out here, another time. What we ended up doing, there was another friend of ours, shout out to Lola, that invited us to come out to see another comedian who's a really good friend of hers, her best friend. And we decided we would take Cody, and because there was an arcade in there, it was a whole experience. And that would also, we planned on taking Cody to the pool and all that good stuff. We didn't get to the pool, but he still had a good time. He was able to take his video game. He stayed at the hotel. We went to the show, which was right across the parking lot, walking across the parking lot, literally. But we had a great time. It was a overnight stay. We got up. We attended to have breakfast, but that didn't work out because the folks was just super, super slow. And I had an event. I had to work back in the city that next morning. But overall, it was one of those moments where we got away. Although we took our son with us, we still had adult time across the parking lot. We enjoyed a wonderful comedy show. We enjoyed food, libations, conversation, getting to know new people. And it was just like, wow, that was a nice little getaway. We said the next time we go back, we're not going to have rushing mode on our back. Like, I'm not going to have to work the next day. Oh, we got to do breakfast, check out, go. No, it would be nice just to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, it might be nice to do a whole weekend there. To just check out just that 45 to an hour drive away. That is different. That's not somewhere we frequent. So those moments like that are important. They are healthy and they are often needed. If you can do a weekend getaway somewhere, we love Chicago, right? You want to go somewhere that don't take a lot of travel time unless you're gonna, if you can drive, I would say somewhere 4 hours or less is perfect for over a weekend getaway. If you can hop on a train or a flight, like if you hop on a train, let them do the driving, you can have your little libations, enjoy the food on the train, pack your little picnic, go sit at the, so many things you could do to be creative on the train. But if you were flying, that's a 45 minute flight. Not even might be 45, maybe 35 minute flight from Detroit. I'm talking from Detroit to Chicago. And you got your whole day. We've done it. So it's doable. So you could think of your neighboring state or city and where you would like to just get away for the day, weekend, and go do that. If you can go to, we love to go to Miami for the weekend, things like that, New York. We haven't been in a minute, but we're planning it. You got to plan. That's that 4-letter word. You got to plan, okay? So you can make it happen. We're always going to be busy. You're never going to have enough time, but you have to make time to reconnect to your spouse, okay? Number 8, compliment each other. Oh, my God. My husband always tells me how nice I look, right? Even on days I feel like, what? And I like to tell him and remind him. He still makes my heart flutter. I still get excited about going on a date night with him. And we've been married 10 years, and we've known each other for, 18 years, I believe. But been together, married 10 years. And so it's like we built a friendship. And although our friendship turned into a marriage later down the road, we still enjoy one another's compliments from one another. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes it's just simply holding hands. I love that he opens my door, you know, and even when I'm driving, he'll open my door. And I'm thinking like, okay, you know, it's just those things. Just so important, you know. Sometimes we can be self-conscious, ladies, right? Fellas, y'all might can too, I don't know. But I know as ladies, our hair, our makeup, our nails, our outfit, you know, we just gotta be boom, boom, boom. And sometimes we self-conscious. So it's nice when your husband, for us, I'm speaking from a wife's perspective. I know, ladies, it's nice when your husband reminds you that you're beautiful and that, you know, you look good or whatever that looks like. They notice when you get your hair done. They notice when you got your nails done. They notice you have a new outfit. Those things are important. But ladies, don't forget, fellas need to be reminded as well that they look fine, that they look good. If that's a new fragrance, is that a new cologne? I love that. You know, oh, okay, I see you got your beard trimmed up or your hair shaved or cut or lined up or whatever that looks like. Okay, I like that sweater or, you know, whatever. Oh, you bought some new shoes or whatever. We should be able to notice this. As busy as our lives get, you should always be able to notice something new about your spouse when it's implemented. You might not get it right away, but you should be able to say, you know what, is that new? Right? You might not even know they went shopping. And a lot of times, ladies, we don't. Oh, I was out and I just grabbed, you know how we do. Yeah, the compliments. It is needed, appreciated, and I believe it should be a priority. Number 9, prioritize video calls with friends. Now listen, FaceTiming, reconnecting with your spouses. If you got other people, y'all, let's just say you other couples in the other states, right? I think it would be dope. We haven't done this. Maybe once or twice, I'm thinking. Yeah, we've done it at least twice. We've done it at least twice. We have a beautiful couple that we call our spiritual family, extended family, Maria and Marcelo out in Miami. Beautiful story on how we met. We're friends with them. We've been friends. Cody's 12, so about 11 years. And we make sure we keep up with each other, tapping in, just checking in on each other. You know, when it's a holiday or birthday or something, they may call, we might video call and say, you know, happy anniversary, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever that looks like, and they do the same to us. So I think that's dope for those relationships, reconnecting with other married couples, right? Couples that are getting ready to get married. These are good fun facts for you guys too on how to stay connected, but to learn how to connect, all right? It don't have to be a long 30, 40 minute hour. No, it could be a check-in. Hey, I just want to pop in. We wanted to say what's going on. You could even say, listen, let's hypothetically, 4 o'clock on Wednesday, let's have a glass of wine and catch up. Let's do a video chat. Okay, cool. So they got their wine. We have our wine, and we're sitting on video chat. We're talking, catching up. Boom. We had a moment. Even though it's through social media, like through our phones, it was a moment you created. I think that's amazing. And it's a way to keep connected and reconnect with other married couples. Number 10, check in at the end of the day. How was your day? How did your day go? That's important. It also allows you to reconnect, okay? Number 11, give yourself some space. Remember, we are individuals first. I'm a woman. My husband's a man. I'm a wife. He's a husband. Together, we're married. We're husband and wife. We're a team. We're a duo. We dope. However, you got to still make time for you. You got to do that self-care. We big on self-care. My husband might be like, oh, I'm about to make me a massage today. I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous. So I'm like, I got to get me one too. And so do that. There's nothing wrong with doing your individual massages and turning around and doing a couple's massage, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's another way to reconnect when you do those couple massages. Or, you know, pamper days. Hey, my husband loves to get manicures and pedicures. We go to the same tech. So we might call Linda, text Linda, reach out to Linda, however we do. Hey, we want to come through. Can you get a schedule? We want to come at the same time. She's like, I got you. What day you looking? And she makes it happen. We love her. Shout out to Linda. But it's just like, make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Reconnect. Find out what works best for you. It's so important that we reconnect, that we stay connected. Some of you are not disconnected. Like, I don't feel like I'm disconnected, but I like to reconnect. It's nothing with powering up, charging up every single day. Nothing wrong with it at all. So I just wanted to stop by. Once I realized that you weren't hearing the show from this morning, I did record a show, y'all. It was 13 minutes long, but I believe you got more substance this run. My ink just arrived. I got to get back to work. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you will share this with someone else who could use a little picker up about how to reconnect. I'll see you soon.